Who are some of the other famous musicians that you have admired over the years, in addition to Bootsy?
Oh wow. Larry Graham is probably for sure one of the ones that, you know, that you went, whoa, man. The first time I ever saw Larry, they were in concert, and at that time in my life I hadn't noticed, you know, because Larry was the leader of the band, he was the lead singer of the band, and he was the bass player. Well, at that time there wasn't much of that, and if there was, I didn't really notice. You know, besides him and Sting was probably the only other one, but Sting wasn't Larry's level of musician, and Sting was in in a band situation at the time. But you know, Larry was the guy, so that was like, you know, that was just a whole mind blowing situation. And then to see him come out with that thing, that slapping and stuff that he was doing back then, that he had already been doing for 10 years, we just didn't know about it. You know, and that was kind of cool too. That was like, whoa, you know, Larry brought a lot to the entire industry. I mean, you know, he's the guy that invented a new way of playing.
You ever met him?
No. I got to be around him, but I've never gotten to sit with him. I know I'm going to meet him here pretty soon because a friend of mine who plays keyboards, he was in a band with this girl who was in Grand Central Station. She's now with Prince. She's the bald-headed black woman that wears the diamond on her head. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Shelby Johnson, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, well, she contacted me on Facebook because I contacted my friend Lou and said, hey man, ask Shelby if I can meet Larry. Because I want to redo one of Larry's songs, so I was trying to get a hold of his camp. Wow. And so he said yes, so her and I haven't hooked up yet, but she contacted me just to say, hey, I talked to Lou, you know, she's off. I feel like I already know you because I've been friends with him since he was little, forever and ever. So,
wow, that's really neat.
Yeah.
I know that's going to be an awesome experience.
Yeah, oh yeah. Larry's one of the ones that I was like, you know, oh man, to be able to be like him, you know.
So what would you say is your favorite Grand Central Station song?
Probably Hair. Hair and Release Yourself were probably my favorites. But I've liked a lot of his material. I used to know every song on both sides of the records back when it was vinyl. I used to just sit in my room and just play all day so I could play Larry stuff. But I was a big Stanley Clarke fan too. Stanley Clarke was...
He's another giant.
Oh yeah, dude. Giant, yeah. James Jamerson, man. You know, that was the Motown dude. God love him. He's been on more hits than anybody in the world. You know, we just didn't know that was one guy. You know, like, you know, for the Temptations and Miracles and the Supremes and Marvelettes and, you know, everybody. I mean, you know, Jamerson's one of them dudes that you couldn't have come out of Motown and him not be on some of your stuff. I think he was on some of Stevie's stuff. He did some of the Jackson 5 stuff. You know,
he was awesome.
Yeah, man, he was one of the greats. Victor Wooten and I have finally met. Well, we actually met before, but he was just here, and there's pictures of me and Victor on the website. Victor's taken, in my opinion, Stanley and moved it up a notch.
Wow. That's saying a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, and he's a sweetheart of a guy. And he probably wouldn't even admit to that. But, you know, I've liked all the guys. Marcus Miller, Steve Bailey, Mark King from Level 42, Flea from Chili Peppers.